All right, McLovin, what do you have for me with the poll question?
Okay, what is the most exciting Game 7 in sports? We're going to call tonight a Game 7. NBA, NHL,
How about
or
deciding game?
game win? Yeah, series deciding game. NBA, NHL, or MLB. Which is the most exciting? Or you could say all three are the same.
Well, I think it depends on the circumstances. I find no matter who's playing in a Game 7 in hockey, it's probably the most exciting of all of them. And then you have overtime. I would say hockey. But if you're talking about specific matchups, rivalries, then we could look at baseball. Then I would probably have basketball after that. But hockey's pretty exciting. Yeah, Paulie.
Basketball Game 7s don't feel that juicy until the fourth quarter, because something that happens in the first quarter, it doesn't really matter. When you're watching a Game 7 in baseball, if someone gets a home run at like opening pitch, first pitch of the game, you're like, oh boy, it's not their night. It gets tense fast.
Yeah. And you can have a pitcher who struggles early and then last only 3 innings. It happens a lot in these moments where it gets too big for somebody, or the manager goes, oh boy, I got to go out and take him out now. Should I take him out now? Now you get into their bullpen. Now it changes everything. Or you let a pitch hang and somebody that you didn't expect to hits it out. Yes, McLevin.
I feel like baseball is the most painful sport to lose a Game 7. I remember when my Phillies lost to Joe Carter's home run in Toronto, because it's just kind of excruciating.
Having sat there down the left field line with Dave Campbell and Peter Gammons and Mitch Williams, and I'd gotten to know Mitch Williams a little bit, and Joe Carter, as it turns out, after that World Series. I visited both of them in their respective homes. I went to Kansas City and I went to Texas to visit Mitch, Kansas City for Joe Carter. And I just remember when you're watching Mitch out there and Joe Carter hit it, we were down the left field line and I still didn't see where it landed, but I could see Joe jumping for joy. And I thought he just hit a walk-off home run to win the World Series. And then later, probably 6 weeks later, maybe 2 months later, I visited Joe Carter in Kansas City. And I said, Joe, where's the baseball? And he goes, it's right there in the kitchen drawer. We were in his kitchen. And I opened up the kitchen drawer and this ball rolled out with like dish towels and, bottle opener. And he had written on that ball, the home run, and he gave it to his wife, but it was in a drawer in the kitchen.
Didn't say, don't throw away on it. What do you write on the ball?
Don't let the kids play with this. And I went to Mitch Williams' house, and Mitch was a stand-up guy because he said, everybody makes a big deal about, I gave up the home run. Look, he did his job. I didn't do my job. I threw it. He hit it. And that's what baseball is. I'm going to throw it. Can you hit it? And if you can, you're going to be the better man. But we've seen this down through the years where you have that moment where are you going to produce? Game on the line. And it'll be great tonight because these two fan bases hate each other. And so much history going back to New York between these two. Yeah, Paulie.
If you go back to the 2016 World Series with the Cubs-Indians, that was a no-lose World Series for history because the Indians were almost like the Cubs. People lovable losers. They hadn't won it in forever. Mm-hmm. And when was it Raji Davis for the Indians who hit that game-tying home run? I could speak for Cubs fans. I sat down in my chair and went, "Oh, that's how it's going to end. This is how I'm going to get my heart ripped out again," because it actually made sense. It was like almost comforting. I'm like, I'm used to this.
Yeah, and if you're a fan base that's used to losing, you almost go, okay, where's the banana peel? Like, how's this going to happen? I know we're going to lose. Just, I hope it's not, is it a slow death or is it a guillotine? I mean, it's like the Lions. They keep losing games. Not that they get to the point where, they would gladly get to a Super Bowl and go, all right, how are we going to lose this? But you get to a Super Bowl. They can't even get to the playoffs. Yeah, McLevin.
Bill Buckner still has to be the worst.
Well, that was the game before, so that didn't win the World Series for the Mets, and they had a 3-0 lead, I think, in Game 7. After the Bartman play, in 2003, the Cubs had a lead. Kerry Wood hit a home run. It felt like, okay, you're going to recover. These Game 6s are really tricky because you think, okay, that just happened. How do you then overcome that? But you still get a Game 7. Buckner had the error. They still got to come back with Bruce Hurst on the mound. And Hurst was going to be the MVP. Yeah, McLovin.
Remember Carlton Fisk's famous home run where he's waving his arms? That was not they lost that World Series. Was that a Game 6?
That was Game 6, I believe, when he homered off Pat Darcy, I think, at Fenway. And then you had to come back the next game. And if you're the Cincinnati Reds, the Big Red Machine, because they win that World Series, the following year they sweep the Yankees 4-0. Yes, Todd.
I know the series didn't end at that moment with the ball through Buckner's legs, but given the history of the Red Sox, and you're in New York and you're one strike away, I have to go with that over a game-ending World Series home run with the Joe Carter, Mitch Williams deal.
Yeah, but that wasn't the end of the series.
I know they still had one more game left, but just that, at that moment, it feels like what could be worse than that? People give up home runs all the time in different situations.
No, I'd rather have Buckner's error and I got another game than Mitch Williams throwing the home run ball. There's no more games. So how would you go, I'll take that. I want to live to have a Game 7. That Game 7, you already decided that's going to be a walk-off home run. No, I want that opportunity to play again. The Cubs had a lead in Game 7, and the Red Sox had a lead in Game 7 in that World Series. Yeah, Paulie.
The Kirk Gibson home run, it's hard to remember. It's 1988 Athletics-Dodgers World Series. All the Dodgers fans remember. That was Game 1.
Yeah.
It feels like it was Game 7. Because it felt, I don't remember anything else from that series. If you're a Dodger fan or an A's fan, I'm sure you remember all of it. But I went back, I'm like, it just reminded me, that was Game 1.
Yeah.
Vin Scully's on the call. When Gibson comes out of the dugout, Vin was like, oh, what do we have here? Like, he couldn't believe it. And Gibson looks like he's fighting to get in the batter's box.
But also, I don't think he had another at-bat in that entire World Series. But it set the tone for the entire World Series. I go back to, I think it was the A's and the Reds. And this was 1990. And I remember Joe Oliver hitting a double down the line, and they won Game 1. And I remember how it just set the tone for the entire World Series. Sometimes that's what it is. It's one game early as opposed to that one game later on. All right, 877-3DP Show, email address dp@danpatrick.com, Twitter handle at DP Show. Yes, McLovin?
If you would ask a poll question, what's the most famous home run in baseball history? I actually have a 2018 list from MLB.com. The list of top 10 most famous home runs. What would you guess that they would have?
Famous home run.
I'll give you a hint. It's relevant to tonight's teams.
Well, I would Bobby Thompson's home run.
They have shot heard around the world as number 1, Bobby Thompson's home run.
Bill Mazeroski won the World Series for the Pirates in 1960, beat the Yankees.
That's 2. Sorry, they're not all World Series home runs. There's also impactful regular season home runs.
Regular season?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with winning a game. It's somebody breaking a record.
So would it be McGuire breaking Roger Maris's, or Maris breaking Ruth's record, or Bonds breaking everybody's record?
Oh, no, the one you're forgetting, the all-time home run record.
Oh, Hank, okay.
Yeah, Hank, they have his number 3.
Yeah. So when he beat Babe Ruth, okay. Yeah, that was big
And
deal.
then they have Gibby number 4 and Carlton Fisk number 5.
Fisk broke my heart because that was 1975, and that was probably close to midnight. And I just remember Dick Stockton was on the call, and you just saw, Carlton wave. I have an autographed picture of that somewhere here in the man cave where Carlton's, go, stay fair, stay fair, stay fair. I think that's how he signed his autograph on that. Who else is on that list there, McLovin?
Well, you had McGuire was on that list.
Yeah.
Let's see. Joe Carter was on that list. Barry Bonds hits number 756. I don't know. Bucky Dent was number 9.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
And number 10, we'll see you tomorrow night. I don't know what this is. Twins.
And that's Kirby Puckett.
Yeah, Kirby Puckett. What does we'll see you tomorrow night mean?
That was the call.
That was the call. Okay.
Yeah, that was Jack Buck, I think, with the call. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
That was 91 World Series Game 6, Kirby Puckett walk-off homer.
It's one of my favorite calls because it's not one of those, it might be, it could be, or back. It was, you knew it was a home run. And once again, I think it's off Charlie Leibrandt of the Braves. But it was, we'll see you again tomorrow night. Like, it was awesome. 11th inning, home run. I just love the call. And then you lay out and... yeah, we were going to see you again tomorrow night.